Alright, welcome to the daily market analysis for 19 May. What we're going to do tonight is go over updates to the market since last night and also identify setups happening tonight going into tomorrow. So first pair we're going to cover is going to be GN. Alright, looking at the 4-hour correction. It's not going to be GN. I'll save that for the last. That is next pairs, so I'll put that towards the end. Alright, so first pair we're going to go over is going to be UF. Alright, looking at the 4-hour time frame. So they painted that range. I said this is where the reversal is coming. They extended the low, gave us first leg, second leg, and then took off. So that one is now gone. Let's go to the 1 hour, see if we still have an AFP available. Nope. So there was that first leg, and then that second leg right here. They came up, completion of level 1, right? And then this was the away from peak. So this happened last night during the London, and then they did the AFP during US. All right, so that is gone. So right now TDI is at the top Bollinger Band. They potentially come down here to the 13 EMA and continue to rise. Based off of what I see on the 4-hour time frame, that looks valid on the RSI. Only thing I see that would keep that from happening is this railroad track that could potentially happen at the 50. Right now we got this green candle closing above, right here at the 50. So this could come up and then come down, close flush, which means they would be coming down to complete another level. All right, moving on to CJ. Again, another one that got away from us. We'll go down to let's go over the 4-hour real quick. So again, this was a range I said was the reversal was going to happen in, right? It came up just above it, right? Exceeded that high a little bit, right? TDI did not come all the way up to the top Bollinger Band, right? And just right above that market baseline, right back down. Right now TDI is outside of the Bollinger Band. You see this long wick here at the 50, and they railroad tracked and they're on their way back up now. Wouldn't necessarily consider this to have gotten away from us. Yes, this still could be considered invalid because the high is above this previous leg, but we knew that was a possibility, right? So essentially just waiting for that second leg. Even though they have come down to the 50, that doesn't mean that it's gone forever, right? I was waiting on them to come back up. Now I really wish that they had closed below, somewhere in this orange box, even closing flush with it. That would have made me more comfortable, but we don't like to gamble. All right, so we'll drop down to the 1-hour time frame. So there's that second leg on the 4-hour time frame. You see it popped out of that orange box, that reversal zone, right? First leg, second leg, and then dropped. That happened night before last, right? And then they came back up for an AFP, away from peak formation, right? This is the peak. They came up, didn't come all the way back up because they would have released traders, right? Railroad track during London, which was in a clear setup, right? It's not really an M, right? But they gave us 2 candles and then continued down, right, and then immediately gave us 2 candles and pulled back up. So really looking forward to them coming back up to retest. They might not come all the way back up. They could come back up to where the AFP happened, and they also could stop here at this 50 EMA and then continue down. Really hoping they come back up though. All right, EU, right? It's another example of it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, right? At the beginning of the week, I labeled this as the reversing range, right? They came up, extended that high, this high right here, right? Gave us a M. This was the outside structure right here, this candle. Gave us a M and then dropped. This first leg is a lot higher than this second leg, right? But it's still there. And then they snatched the market away. Here it is again. This was the outside structure on the 4-hour time frame. You can see that it is exceeded on the 1 hour. Sorry about that. You can see it's exceeded on the 1 hour, right? So this is no longer valid. This becomes the first leg. They only gave 1 leg during the London session, second leg during the US session. Again, I don't really like doing that, because when they do it and they make it in 2 different sessions, usually London and US, they shift that zone down during London, right? You can see it popped out of the Bollinger Band and they come back up. There's still a lot of space in between TDI and that market baseline. Didn't feel comfortable with it and they shifted down. So that's another one that got away from us. Knew it was coming, just didn't like the way that pattern painted. All right, so far so good on EJ. They're still at the bottom of that reversal range. TDI is approaching the top Bollinger Band on the weekly time frame. Go to the day, right? It's at the top Bollinger Band, and close to the high level line on the day time frame, right? And they've given us a peak. The sun was on the day time frame. We've got a sun on the 4-hour time frame as well. It looks like an M on the nope. So RSI looks like gives an M, right? But it's an incline, so that basically reflects up here. First leg, second leg, which is invalid. All right, so this is our first leg. Just waiting for them to come back up and see how they behave at this second leg tonight. All right, if they don't exceed it, then we'll go ahead and take it short. So I'll move this over here. All right, moving on to UC. UC first, second leg, right? Second leg stopped at that low level line. 4-hour time frame, right? There's that second leg. Popped outside that orange reversal range that I painted for us, right? TDI came below the market baseline and right above that low level line. Gave us a peak formation, issued us a sun, right? But there was no second leg, right? They just hit it and then moved up. So wasn't really feeling that that pattern. I would really have loved to see the second leg, but it's not. All is not lost. Again, they're at that 50 EMA now, looking like they're going to railroad track. All right, so come up, back down, and then close flush with this candle here, come back down, give us that second leg W before taking off. All right, AU, like I discussed before, they came in that trading zone. Didn't really like the consolidation, especially along the 50 EMA. So we let that go. AJ, the same thing. They did hit the range and reverse. Moving on to NJ. NJ hit that range a third time, and then took off for this one. This happened. We still could have taken this, right? It's essentially a stop hunt, right? They exceeded. They didn't come all the way to the 25 pip box or the stop hunt box, right? Which looks like this, but they just exceeded the high a little bit, and then didn't really snatch the market, but they shifted the zone, consolidated a little bit, and then really shifted during Asian and continued during London. So once I seen that happen last night, so this happened the night before last, and then this happened last night, I was really expecting them to come back up, right? At least to Asian high. This Asian high right here, retest, give us a nice M and take off, but they dropped it, right? So if we had gotten in over here, we would have been solid, but we didn't. The high was exceeded, and I was waiting for them to come back and retest, giving us an M on the during the Asian or London session. So that one so far. Let me go back and see. So it's at the low level now. They could come back up. I don't foresee them coming way back up here, but they could come back up to the towards the 50 EMA, right, and give us another pattern. But I will not push y'all a setup that I do not feel 100% comfortable with, because then that becomes gambling. That's why we missed a lot of those. There's still a few that could potentially work in our favor, just being patient, right? Trading every day isn't an investment, it's a hobby, right? It becomes a hobby or a job, right? We're not workers, we're investors. So all right, moving on to GC. I expected them to come back down and retest, giving us a W, a nice looking W. They stayed around this 000 line right here, and then consolidated a little bit, and didn't really shift too much, right? But they've issued us a star. I honestly am going to scratch GC for now, unless they come back down and retest this low, right? My directional bias is uncertain on GC. NU, same thing, consolidating at this 50 EMA. They did reverse in that orange range, like I said. So we'll see how they behave if they come back up and retest. But as of right now, we are not going to be trading NU anytime soon. We had missed this one in between sessions. So Asian, London, US, they gave a peak on the 1 hour, but no second leg. This could have been considered a second leg and a cross, right? So if we would have looked here and noticed the cross had happened, could have taken it. Um, Again, this really wasn't a second leg to me, so I didn't take it. Had they come up a little higher, at least above this area right here, then I would have considered it to be a second leg. But there was um, no real setup. And then last night, essentially, same thing they did on the previous pair. Right, there was no retest. So here's the initial high of Asia. They didn't retest and then drop. They just continued the trend. Right, so once they shifted, they consolidated. Right, hit again and then dropped. Had this been a little higher, we would have been good, but that wasn't the case. All right, getting into next pairs. So we'll do GU, GJ, EG, and then GN. So I had painted earlier on next pairs that this was the reversal range, right? Again, they extended that high just a little bit, right? Came back up here to towards the high level line. First, consolidated, right? And then not really a true second leg, but there was divergency, right? That decline, you see that decline there too, and they came down. Hopefully, they come back and give us a better entry, right? Which will look like them coming up here towards this level here, right? And then not even giving another M, just another retest, right? Which will look like a railroad track or a peak formation kind of candle, and then dropping, right? So we're looking for those long wicks or railroad track, and then go down to the 1 hour, look for that M, and then 15-minute cross. So they are railroad track. It looks like they want to railroad track right here at this or towards this 50 EMA. TDI is approaching that bottom Bollinger Band now, so I'm expecting them to come up within the next, either tonight, they're probably not going to come all the way back up, but to end the week, right, come back up here, and then next week make their move. All right, see, looks like they close flush there, and they're on their way back up. All right, moving on to GJ. Kind of the same thing, created another level outside of that box, right? Consolidated right here at this extended level, right? It's not really a M. It really looks like it on the RSI, but it's really consolidation. Came down here, shifted that zone to the 50, pinned it. That's a long wick, and they're on their way back up, hopefully to give us a better leg and not extend that high. All right, so that setup is almost complete. EG, they gave that second leg, right? There was the first one. This one wasn't really anything to blink an eye at, but this one right here was it. Zoom in a little bit. This one right here was it. But if you look at the RSI on this leg right here, it's below the market baseline. There was a lot of space in between that TDI and Bollinger Band. That's why I guarantee you that's why Nick didn't push that out. Even this one right here that could also have been taken as a second leg wasn't near the that first one at all. It was actually up here towards the top Bollinger Band. So both of those right there weren't clear setups. But hopefully, since TDI is hitting that market baseline, hopefully they come back down and retest at least this level, if not this one, and give us a better entry there. They pinned that 50 EMA here, so that's what I'm expecting them to do next week. GN. So we got on the 4-hour time frame, we have first leg, and they're working on the second leg now. TDI is right above that market baseline on its way back up. I am probably going to set a pending order on this for this point right here with the 25 pip stop loss. So that entry will look like 97237. So that'll put my stop loss at 97587. So that's probably what I'm gonna do tonight. That way I don't have to worry about it. Stop loss will be set and everything will be good. You do that by hitting new order, right? You set your lot size, how much you want to invest, set your stop loss. So I said 97587, and then market execution you want to change to pending order, and then whether you want to put a buy limit or a sell limit, right? If you are unsure, I can explain it to you, but I'm a visual learner. Actually, we'll go ahead and so just Google it, buy limit, sell limit, and then make sure you put Forex behind it. Buy limit, sell limit, Forex, and there's a image that will explain what a buy limit is and then what a sell limit is, the difference between them. And then you just place it here. You select whichever pending you're wanting, and then hit at the price, right? So you put your cursor over that point, that high right there, and if you look at the right side of the screen where you see those numbers moving, that's where you get your numbers from. At that price point, you input it here and then hit place. That's how you put a pending order. All right. Make sure the currency pairs are what is matching up here, GN, and then you just hit place it. You can set your the day you want it to expire. So we don't like trading into the weekend, so you can set it for Friday to tomorrow Friday. No, I'm getting my days all mixed up. You can set it for Friday to close before the market ends and goes into the weekend, or you can hold it. I wouldn't suggest you hold it, but yep, that's how you set a pending. You can also put your take profit in here as well. So I'm going to be doing that tonight, but that is your daily market analysis. Let me know if you have any questions. Hit me up in the group chat or direct message. Again, setups are not always guaranteed, but they do it to induce, right? And they snatch a market to take their money, and then they come back up to retest that level, and that's what we'll wait for, those second legs. Okay, so let us know if you have any questions. Other than that, y'all have a good night.